Welcome to a new edition of our webinar and welcome to Proficient. This is Shumay Roshni from Proficient Group, and today it is 17th of March 2018. We have designed today's session such that there will be two different parts. In the first part, we'll be talking about different aspects of trading strategies that we can get help from METASTOCK. To achieve that result, we will be using the METASTOCK programming language. METASTOCK programming language is a vast subject. It is not possible to cover the entire topic in one session. So we will only touch the surface as of today. But we will see what is the potential of this topic. What is the potential of METASTOCK programming language and what we can do by learning METASTOCK programming language. Later on, we will also touch today's market, whatever is doing in the overall broader market, and we will use this concept from whatever we will be learning today from METASTOCK programming language. So we will be judging Nifty, we will be analyzing Nifty, what lies ahead, and we will also take a look at a few stocks. Those are likely to move higher next week. So let's start. You see, most people use METASTOCK only to look at the charts. Yes, there are lots of charts. There are some 2,000 stocks in NSE. There are some 3.5 thousand stocks in BSE. So there are a huge number of stocks, and all these stocks all the charts of these stocks you can see in METASTOCK. But apart from that, METASTOCK also has very strong advantages apart from looking at the charts as well. Now let me tell you that. First of all, there is an indicator builder. It means we have several indicators in technical analysis. There are a number of indicators: MACD, RSI, stochastic, ADX. There are huge number of indicators, and all these indicators serve some purpose. Some indicators are good at catching a trend reversal. Some indicators are good to keep you during the trend. Right. So every indicator has its own purpose. Every indicator has its own strength, has its own weakness. The thing is that you have to modify the indicators according to your need. You may need to increase the speed of certain indicators. You may need to increase the sensitivity of the MACD or RSI. Or you may hold together, imagine a new indicator, a new concept, and it is possible that you will be needing to create a new indicator for yourself. For that, you have to learn certain basic knowledges about METASTOCK programming language. And if you can do that, you can do a whole lot of creativity. A new horizon will open up for you. So you will not be bounded by only the indicators those are presented to you as a default setting in METASTOCK. So first of all, you can create your own indicators. That is one thing. The second thing is that there is exploration in METASTOCK. Exploration means there are so many number of stocks, and you do not know which stock is most likely to move in near future, which stock is most likely to go up, which stocks are most likely to go down. For that, you need to explore your database. You need to run this exploration. You will have to design certain exploration, and you have to run this exploration in your entire database. And you will find some stocks, those are qualifying according to your criteria. And those stocks you will look at for a potential trading candidate. Most of the advisors who come up with trading calls generally use one or two or many such explorations to find out stocks that they recommend in media or to their clients respectively. I also use many of such explorations to find out stocks that are likely to move higher or move lower, and I give them frequent recommendation. So exploration is another advantage that you can use in METASTOCK. And again, you need to have a little bit of knowledge in METASTOCK programming language to use this one as well. Then there is system tester. You see, we told in one of our previous we told it in one of our previous webinars that the ultimate objective of any trader or any analyst is not to judge on a random basis what the market is likely to do next, whether the market is going to go higher or lower. It is a random call most of the time. That is not the final objective. The final objective is to create a trading system or to create a decision-making tree so that whatever the market does, the market may rise or the market may fall, but you will know what you will do whatever the market does. If the market rises, you should know what you will do. If the market falls, you should know what you will do. So that is the most important thing. That is what a system should do for you. Now, while you are creating your own system, you will have to backtest it. You will have to see what was the profit loss distribution of the system that you have created. The system may give a profit, or your idea may not work out as well, and it may not give you any profit at all. But it is always advisable to do some testing before you actually employ the system in real life market. But as you can see, there are huge number of data when you particularly when you particularly design a system and run it. There will be huge number of data, so you cannot do it manually. For that, you also have to take the advantage of METASTOCK. These small programs, those are created within METASTOCK. This is called enhanced system tester. This system tester will analyze your trading system. This will give you a distribution of profit and loss. This will give you the total profit you have earned, how many trades you have done, what was the maximum loss that your system has suffered, and every little bit of details that you can do. So this system tester is also one of the very important criteria that any trader must know about before employing any trading system into the market. And we can take the help of this system tester in METASTOCK as well. But again, for this to use, you need to know certain characteristics of METASTOCK programming language. This is the third criteria. This is the third small program within the METASTOCK for which you have to know the programming language. Then there comes the expert advisor. Expert advisor as such does not add any value, but sometimes it makes your analysis easier. Say for example, I'm opening the chart of Nifty. Say for example, I'm opening the chart of Nifty. This is Nifty daily chart, and suppose I have designed a trading system and I'm employing it. So this trading system may be comprised of several indicators, and there is no need to plot all these indicators on the chart again. I can create the trading system, and once I create the trading system, I will have developed an expert, and then I will attach this expert on the chart, and this expert will automatically give me buying and selling signals. Like this. You can see this is a small example where I have added the MACD signal to the Nifty weekly chart, And you can see the green lines, those are showing the buy signals, the red lines showing the sell signals. And for this, I do not have to plot the MACD at all. The system tester or the expert advisor is giving me the signal automatically. So these 4 programs I need to run for any trading system to employ properly. Again, I am coming. The first one is the indicator builder. I can create my own indicator according to my need. Second is the exploration. I can run any number of exploration to the database to particularly point out which stocks are most suitable for my kind of trading. The exploration. Then comes the system tester. I can, if I have an idea of how am I going to trade, what is going to my system like, then I can program it here and I can test the profitability of my system for a 10-year or even 15-year period, and it will give me a detailed study of how my system have performed over that period of time. And finally, just an expert advisor, when I do not have to put all the indicators and oscillators in the chart itself, and this expert advisor will automatically generate buy and sell signals for me according to my own system. Now, these are strong advantages indeed for any trader, and any trader must design his own system before risking any single paisa or any single money into the market. But to use these advantages properly, you have to learn little bit about the METASTOCK programming language. Without learning this programming language, you cannot create your own indicator. We cannot create your trading system. We cannot run your own exploration into the database. So keeping that requirement in mind, today we will be touching the surface of this vast subject called the METASTOCK programming language. It is not that difficult at all. It is very easy. Initially, when I started learning about METASTOCK programming language, I also thought it will be very complicated language. But it is a bit like C. The normal signs like plus, minus, multiplication, division are equally applicable here. The greater than sign, less than sign. And some METASTOCK functions are there that will help you to find out the indicators and oscillators, create your own indicators and oscillators. So in this first part, we will be talking about this programming language. Okay, so let's proceed. First of all, we will start with creating a new indicator. It will be a very basic indicator. Our main objective is to learn the various functions, and we will first open the indicator builder, and then you can see the button, new button here, and we are creating a new indicator. And what could be a new indicator? Suppose I have to first give the name here. I am using proficient as a prefix of all the indicators that I am going to make in this session. So let's know about the 4 particular things: the open, high, low, and close of a particular day. How METASTOCK understands, or how you can make METASTOCK understand the nuances of this open, high, low, close. So first, we are going to make the open, high, low, close indicator. Suppose I want to plot only the closing price of a chart. So closing price is denoted by C. C comes for closing price. That's all. If I write C, METASTOCK will understand I am talking about the closing price of any particular day. So I am opening it here. A new indicator has been created. I am closing it and I am checking how it has been done. I am opening the chart of Nifty again. I am deleting the expert advisor. See, okay, it's an uncluttered chart of Nifty. Now, the new indicator that I created, Proficient OHLC, is already being shown in the indicator list. I am just dragging it here and plotting the chart here, right? The new indicator has been plotted and it is showing only the closing prices of Nifty. So as you can see, if I convert the Nifty in line chart, these two will be identical. So nothing new, but the most important thing is that now I can plot the closing price of any stock. I'm going back to candlestick. Now instead of closing price, I can now edit the formula from here as well. I don't have to go back to the indicator builder again. Now instead of closing price, I could have even written here the H. H stands for high. Then every day's highs are now plotted, right? Now instead of H, I could have written here L. L stands for low. Now instead of every day's high, every day's low will be plotted here. As you can see, there is a minor change in the indicator that we have built, and these are showing the highs, lows, or close, or the open prices respectively. So now it is showing the opens of every day, right? So this is how the open, high, low, and close are denoted in METASTOCK. We are not going to make indicators this simple because this is not an indicator at all. But whatever indicator we are going to make, the open, high, low, and close will be there. That's why it is very important to learn open, high, low, close. Another thing is that suppose let's have some fun. In one particular chart, let's try. Let's see if we can plot all the open, high, low, and close together. So you see, I have given a semicolon. Semicolon means there a formula ends and there is no relation between whatever lies immediately ahead and immediately after this semicolon. So I have plotted here 4 data: open, high, low, and close. Let's see how METASTOCK can handle this. See, METASTOCK is now plotting every day's open, high, low, and close, right? Again, this is I have done this for only for demonstration. It does not mean anything as our trading perspective, but we are going to use this conception to create other indicators as well, right? So this is where you learned about open, high, low, and close, and also the use of semicolon. Now let me tell you another thing is that in METASTOCK you can also use the greater than sign, the less than sign, and the equal sign just as usual, right? So for various requirements we will be using these signs as well. Now So far we have learned the open, high, low, close and the use of semicolon. Now let me tell you about a very basic indicator that we use many a times, which is called moving average. Moving average, as you may be aware of, it is a trend following indicator. You can see in the lower panel that I have plotted a 200-day moving average of Nifty. This is 200-day moving average. I have made it a bit bolder in red. So you can see that Nifty had nearly touched the 200-day moving average on 7th of March, and it did not touch. Then it went higher. Then again yesterday it came very close to touching the 200-day moving average. And you can see how the entire bull market panned itself out, as the prices were consistently above the 200-day moving average for the most part of 2016, and for the entire part of 2017, and now it is challenging the moving average, 200-day moving average, as of March of 2018. So what I was telling is that the moving average, I may put 200-day moving average, or I may put 100-day moving average. This is 100-day moving average. For many purposes, moving average, many people use moving average as a trend indicator. The slope of the moving average. If the slope of the moving average is rising, it is assumed as an uptrend. Or if the price is above the moving average, the trend is assumed upward. Or another thing is that we can see a dual crossover, a crossover of dual moving averages. That is, we are using two moving averages, one short term and one long term. If the short term moving average crosses over the longer term, we will say it is a bull market, and that is a buying opportunity. Although we will be testing this strategy, we will not use this so-called dictum on face value. We will be testing it. We will really want to see whether there is a profit. It has a positive expectancy if we buy on this moving average crossover. But nevertheless, the thing is that we have to program moving average for creating various indicators related to moving average. And now I am going to show you how moving averages are programmed. For that, we are again opening the indicator builder. I am clicking the new button so that I am going to create a new indicator, which is moving average, and I am writing it proficient moving average, right? Now, the syntax of moving average is MOV, right? MOV stands for moving average for METASTOCK language. And moving averages have to be specified for this particular value. C stands for closing price, as I told you earlier. The moving average that we are going to consider are based on the closing prices of every day. So the first is C, then I have to put the number of days or the window that the moving average will be considering. I am plotting here, suppose 13. It means the moving average is calculating immediately preceding 13 days prices. It is summing them up and then dividing the entire summation by 13. So I am effectively using 13 days, and I am using a simple moving average, right? Simple moving average is the normal way of moving average that we generally use. There are other ways of calculating moving averages, like exponential, like triangular, like weighted. So there are many other kind of moving averages. If I use to use exponential, then I will write here E. If I use it for triangular, I will write it T, right? So there are various ways of calculating moving averages that right now I am not considering. I am assuming the simplest form, and I am using here a 13-day moving average. So this is the syntax of moving average. Moving average within bracket C, 13, S. I could have changed anything. I could have write here H, that is I am using a moving average based on the highest price. I could have write here 40 days moving average, or I could have write here 50 days moving average. I could have write anything. But just to demonstrate we are doing it as a simple parameter, and I'm constructing a 13-day simple moving average based on the closing price. Okay. Now I'm closing it, and you see whenever I am creating a new indicator, it is being shown in the top window. You can see here the proficient moving average that I have created just now. So let me plot it. I'm dragging it here and plotting it on a new chart. So you can see this is a 13-day moving average that I plotted. Right? Now I can change the values as well. But say we are working with the 13-day moving average. Now I'm plotting it along with 100-day moving average. Right? I've plotted it along with Nifty. So you can see here that the entire bull market that started way back in 2016 February or 2016 March, the blue moving average is the short-term moving average. It is the 13-day moving average, and the red moving average is the longer-term 100-day moving average. So you can see there is a crossover on March, on third week of March 2016, there was a bullish crossover, and the short-term moving average is going above the longer-term moving average. So, on a crude measure, you can see that you can say it is a bull market or it is a buy signal, right? So, and as long as the shorter-term moving average stays above the longer-term moving average, you can say the buy signal is valid. Then, in November of 2016. As far as I can remember, it was the day when Donald Trump in US came into power, was elected the president, and the market went into some pullback mode. Market did not absorb, market did not expect it. So there was a big sell-off. The 13-day moving average, the blue one, actually went down, and it stayed there. And that was the sell signal, as you can see. But moving average, because it's normally a laggard in nature, the signals come bit later. But yeah, I'm talking about this particular crossover. This is a bearish crossover, right? When the shorter term moving average goes below the longer term moving average. Here, the initial buy signal was there when the shorter term moving average was above, went above the longer term moving average. So these are actually buy signals or sell signals like this. Okay, let's go to the right, and you can see there is another buy signal here on January 2017, and the buy signal continued until very recently. That occurred is on last week of February or on the first day of March. The short-term moving average, which is the blue one, again went below the longer-term moving average. So that is a valid sell signal. Now, although we have to test this conception, just because there was a few profitable trades, we cannot argue it is a long-term profitable trading system. We have to take some 100 samples or 200 samples of this. But for that to do, we also have to program. And just now we learned how to program the moving averages, right? This is how to program a moving averages for your own purpose, right? Now, let me go further with this. Suppose I want to check the crossover strategy, right? Right here, I showed you the moving average crossovers. When the short-term moving averages goes below the longer term, this is a sell signal. When the short-term moving average goes above the longer term, this is a buy signal. Now, we can say to ourselves that, okay, if these are valid signals, we want to see as of yesterday, how many stocks how many stocks give such buy signals or such sell signals as of yesterday. So in how many stocks the moving average, the short-term moving average, that is the 13-day moving average, actually went below the longer-term moving average, generating a valid sell signal. Or as of yesterday, we could want to know how many stocks or which stocks have gone above their respective moving averages to generate a buy signal. Now we are trying to do that. For this, we will need to go to the exploration, METASTOCK exploration, right? I am closing the chart here and I am opening an exploration. Here is the Explorer. Now I am going to do an exploration, and I want to know how many stocks generated such buy signals or such sell signals as of yesterday, right? I am going to create a new search. Coefficient moving average crossover, right? Now there are various columns you can see. Column A, column B, column C, and all these things. For the time being, I am keeping all these columns vacant, and I am directly going to the filter tab, right? Here, I am specifying the moving average. I have used, suppose, 13-day moving average versus the 100-day moving average, right? You can see, you can use for yourself any combination of moving averages, 1330 or 50-100 or 50-200 or 100-200. Any moving average combination is available, and you can see. And you can also ask METASTOCK. And now here is a great advantage for METASTOCK exploration or METASTOCK system tester. You can also ask METASTOCK to find out the best combination of moving averages that would have given you the greatest profit over a certain period of time, right? So these many things you can do with METASTOCK. For the time being, we are going simple, and we are assuming that we are wanting to find out how many stocks gave a bullish crossover or bearish crossover as of yesterday. So I'm using 13-day moving average. And I am using the 100-day moving average, right? Now these two moving averages I have written, and I have written in between a comma. Now how to program or how to tell METASTOCK that I want to find out a crossover? For that to do, you have to use a cross function, right? There is a new function that I am telling you. It is called the cross function. Now here is the entire program. Here is the entire program, right? Cross is a particular function in METASTOCK that is used to find out the crossover of two indicators. Here we are using the moving averages as the two indicators. After the cross, there will be a bracket, parenthesis, and within the bracket, there will be two other indicators. Now, I have written the 13-day moving average first and the 100-day moving average later. That means the 13-day moving average will be at the top. That means whatever I want to be on the top, I have to write it first. If I want the 13-day moving average on the top after the crossover, then I will write it at the first. That means I am writing it as a bullish crossover. When the short-term moving average is at the top after a crossover, that is a bullish crossover. So I am writing it and as it is a bullish search. So I am running it as a bullish search. Let's see if there is at all a bullish stock as of yesterday. So I am running it on my database. I'm selecting all the stocks, those are traded in NSE, and the stocks are being explored. So far, I have not got any result. 100% is the rejection. As you can see here, 100% is the rejection. So none of the stocks gave any bullish crossover yesterday. So let's see what is the final result. Yeah, I am getting one or two results. Yeah, done. So it is giving me the report, and this is the beauty of exploration. As you can see, say Sunvi movers. Let me open the chart. Yeah, so this is Sunvi movers, and Metastock is telling me that for Sunvi movers, for this stock there is a 1330 crossover. So let's check if really that is the case. So I'm plotting the moving averages here. Day moving average with in a blue color. I'm bolding it. Okay, and the 100-day moving average, 13 and 100 I used. Okay, I'm using it on a red. Yeah, here is the cross. You see, to the right of your chart, you can see the short-term moving average, the blue one, has actually gone above the longer-term moving average, the 100-day moving average, the red one. So this is a bullish crossover. This is a valid buy signal. And this is the beauty. This is why I showed you all the nuances of this exploration. And this is the very purpose of learning Metastock programming language. You can use your own exploration, and they are limitless. You can create, you can imagine anything. And if it is objective, you can program it down to find your own stocks. Now, do not take me as a recommendation from me that I am telling you to buy Sunvi movers just on Monday, because that is not the way things are done. You have to backtest this logic. You need a lot of sample to do that. But this is anyway a crude way of doing things. Okay, so this is how we get bullish candidate. Even if Nifty fell some 160 points yesterday, the Sunvi movers, this stock gave a bullish breakout, and moving average crossover signal was there. So let us check whether there is any bearish signal there, right? Now this is the moving average crossover that we have created right now. I am editing it. Here we did it. So you see, in our earlier version, we did this for a bullish crossover, and now let us do it for a bearish crossover. In a bearish crossover, the short-term moving average will go below the longer-term moving average. So the greater value, the longer-term moving average will come to the left, and the short-term moving average will come to the right. So I'm just changing the moving averages and all other things remaining equal, and right now it will give me all the bearish candidates. So that's again how beautifully and how easily things can be done in Metastock. All that is important is you know the particular language properly, and you can use it for any of your requirements. So let's check it again. And I'm exploring it on my database. Okay, I'm selecting the stocks again, and I'm running. You see, look at the percent rejected. There is 99% rejected. That means whole 1% stocks. 1% stocks of entire Nifty has given you a bearish crossover of 13 versus 100-day moving average. So there are some very known stocks like HDFC, Jet Airways, and Reliance Industries. Okay, Reliance Industries. Okay, let us open these stocks, the chart of these stocks, and let's check whether these stocks have really given any such bearish crossover, right? This is Reliance Industries. Okay, I'm plotting the moving average, 100-day moving average here. And again the 13-day moving average. Here. Okay. Now you can see to the right of your chart that this is a bearish crossover, right? When short-term moving average, the blue one, actually gone below the longer-term moving average. So this is a bearish crossover than we are seeing in Reliance Industries, which is a very significant stock and has a lot of weightage in Nifty. So Reliance Industries has given us a bearish crossover signal as of Friday, yesterday evening. What about the others? This is Jet Airways. Let me again plot the moving averages. The 13-day moving average. I'm plotting it in blue as usual. And the 100-day moving average, which I'm plotting it in red. Yeah. You can see the crossover again. Right? You can see the bearish crossover again as the short-term moving average is going below the longer-term moving average. So that's again a valid sell signal, right? So these are the stocks that METASTOCK is suggesting you as a potential selling candidate, right? Because you have given the program, you have given the software an idea how do you define a bearishness or a bullishness, and now this particular software is suggesting you that this stock qualifies according to your bearish criteria. So you can trade this stock from the short side. Earlier we got Reliance, now we are getting Jet Airways, and here it is HDFC Bank, another very high weighted stock on Nifty. Now let's check it. I'm plotting the 100-day moving average, which is in red, and I'm plotting the 13-day moving average, which is in blue. And you can see the bearish crossover again. Here is the bearish crossover. So this is the idea behind learning a new technique, learning a new knowledge. And here we are learning the METASTOCK programming language, right? The advantage is that if you can come up with new ideas, here we saw a very simple idea of moving average crossover. You can come up with any new ideas. Later on, we are going to learn many more functions like ROC functions, like zigzag functions, and we can even program the conventional patterns like head and shoulder, like triangles, all those things. I will try to address those patterns in our later classes. But this was an introductory session on METASTOCK programming language, just to show you how you can do things and to what extent METASTOCK programming language can help you in your trading, to find out particular stocks, to backtest your idea, to create new trading strategies, to create new indicators, and all those things, right? So I sincerely request you, urge you to explore more on this topic, and if there is any problem, you can always come back to me. I'm giving you my email ID later towards this session, and you can always come back to me with your problem. I'll get my best with your problem. Now, in our later subsequent classes, we will take more on this. For the time being, I am closing this topic and entering into I'm giving you some idea about the Nifty or the overall market that we are right now, because I think it is important. So yesterday market gave some 160 points of correction, and let's see what is the scenario after that moment. Okay, so we have opened the chart of Nifty, and as we see, okay, the chart is updated till yesterday, and where prices closed at 10,195. Nifty made a very significant top on third week of January at 11,130 on closing basis, and after that I am showing you what has happened. I am plotting a zigzag function here. Here I have plotted a zigzag function. Later on in our next classes or later classes, I will try to talk about what the zigzag function is all about. Here this is a 1% zigzag function. That means any movement which is greater than 1%, the zigzag function is sensitive to that. And any movement which is less than 1%, the zigzag function thinks it is noise and does not respect that noises. So zigzag function helps us to locate the tops and bottoms, right? You can see as of third week of January, that is at around this point, Nifty made a significant high top at around 11,130 levels, and after that zigzag is showing significant lower top lower bottom formations, right? This is a top for Nifty. Now this is another top for Nifty. So you can see there are series of lower tops, and you can see also the bottoms. The tops I have done in blue, the bottoms I have done in red, right? So you can see the series of lower tops and lower bottoms. The tops are progressively getting lower and the bottoms are also progressively getting lower. So this is an intermediate downtrend, definitely, because this is not the characteristic that we can see to the left of this chart. To the left of this chart, you can see successively higher tops and higher bottoms. So these higher tops and higher bottoms are the characteristic of uptrend. And when the series of higher tops and higher bottoms terminate, we get what is lower top and lower bottom formation, which is generally correction. So far, prices have not violated or broken the 200-day moving average, the moving average that you can see to the bottom of your chart, which is shown in red. But chances are high that the moving average will be tested and maybe broken once or twice. After that, we will be taking a call. We can also draw a conventional trend line here. We can also draw a conventional trend line here, and as long as this trend line remains valid, we can see the intermediate correction is continuing. Prices are since making lower tops, so once the series is end, that is once prices stop making lower tops and the immediately preceding top is broken, then the odds will be higher that the intermediate correction is getting over. But before that, we cannot say. We have to go along with the trend, and we have to say that the short term or the intermediate trends are down as of now. If the short term trend is down, then how do we trade the market? Just now, we saw that there are some bearish crossovers in very heavyweight stocks like Reliance Industries, like Jet Airways. So these stocks are potential selling candidates, provided Nifty does not go above the immediate high, which is at around 10,430 region. So that will be the stop loss on positional basis for Nifty. If Nifty goes above this level, then chances will be high that the intermediate correction is getting over. But one top is not sufficient. Two tops will be greater, will be a better indicator. That means 10,600 will be a better indicator. So for the time being, we are assuming we are going with the trend and assuming the prices are going lower. So that's the analytical point of view as of now. Now you can do your own analysis and let's see if there is any good stock. Yes, you can. If you saw Santi Movers is in GHVI. Yeah, you can see the stock that successfully breached its previous high here. Yeah. So there will be such sporadic pockets of outperformance. Sporadic pockets of outperformance where prices are going higher or like this. You can take some very defensive buying approaches in these stocks, but over the longer term, the prices are weak, and maybe we will be breaking the 200-day moving average. So that's the point of view as of now. A little bit of correction is likely ahead, and with that note, we are concluding this session. I am really thankful for your time. And I will expect you, if there is any problem in your programming, then you can always come back to me. I am telling you my email ID, which is shumoy.goswami@proficientgroup.in. That is SUMOY, shumoy.goswami, GOSWAMI, Goswami@proficientgroup.in. If there is any problem regarding your query about METASTOCK programming or etc. any other thing, you can always mail me and I will do my best to help you out.